Good afternoon. Welcome to this video. I'm going to get straight to it. We're focusing on a bit of crypto. We're looking at Solana on the last video. Expected a move up to take out those inefficiencies. We had poor highs up there. That was taken care of. We got the drop as kind of anticipated in that video, and we come down to that $200 zone. So if we fast forward to today, so that was on the 12th of September. We're now at the end of the month. We've got 4 days left till the end of this month, and we're going to check out now what's happening in the chart. So this was off of the last video, and I have to say, in my opinion, things are looking pretty bearish. I've drawn some levels on here that I'm going to put on now. The 618 here, for example, is the first one. So I'm going to show you that these were drawn from this high to this low. Okay, that was the fib pull, and we did bounce. If I just put the color on, you'll see a bit clearer. Okay, we did get a bounce off of that 382. You can see this tiny green candle. Okay, it hasn't really done a great deal. We're waiting for New York open in a couple of hours time, so perhaps we do get a bigger reaction at that time, but in the meantime it's still looking pretty weak. Now if this 382 fails to hold, I do anticipate the price may go up and then get that drop, and we will come back in to test this 0.5 at 170 zone. We do have the anchored VWAP, as you can see, from that low coming up to that 0.5. So I do think we will get a reaction. As you can see, there's a lot of wicks here. And yeah, I can see us getting some kind of reaction at that zone. Again, it doesn't mean that level has to hold, but you might get a trade out of it before we come down lower, because I personally believe that if this doesn't hold, then we're, pretty much heading for that 618, this kind of area. Now, I also did pull a TR pocket pull, which I put on, which was pretty much perfect in terms of capturing that high. We're currently sitting down here, and the 0.5 of that TR pocket, is it's below the 618, granted, but it's still within that same vicinity. So yep, we do have quite a few confluences down here. In addition to that, I'm just going to take that away. I'm going to jump to the monthly time frame, because there's something that I did notice on here. If we go to the monthly, okay, the monthly does look pretty bearish. At least that's the bearish close candle, if it does close that way, which is 4 days time until this candle closes. And if we look over here, I mean, this was a pretty bearish close, and this is basically what followed afterwards, was this bearish market structure, right? I'm not saying that has to happen, but it might happen, so it's not really looking so good on the monthly. And also when we put on the volume weighted average price, which is this green line that you see following throughout the whole chart, you can see we are basically literally sitting on top of that. So what I'd like to see, what's going to give me a good confidence basically, is if we can hold this level and we end up opening above that, that's going to be a bit of a sign of strength. But if we sort of close on that and then end up getting below this, I mean, this is looking weak. So on the weekly, we are already below the VWAP there, and you can see this is the anchored VWAP. So this is a pull from this low. So yeah, it looks to me like it's almost inevitable that we're coming down a little bit lower into this zone. Also, there was one more thing in my charts. Let me see. Yep, I just want to point out that from this low, we've had a move of, that's not correct. That's the wrong one. Hold on a second. Okay. From the low, which is down here in April, we have come up some 167%. So I think with that said, having a healthy correction, is part of the course. So I'm not really surprised to see this. And also, when you look at Bitcoin here, we can see, like I say, continuous weakness. When we look at Ethereum, we can see we're not really looking so strong. I anticipated that we were going to move down, uh, down into this level here on the last Ethereum video that I done. And of course, the other thing I would like to point out in this Solana is when we go down to say like the hourly or even the 30-minute time frame, we can see when we look like this, we can see that this was the $250. Okay, so that was the last high that we put in. And all we've done since then is basically look at that market structure. It does not look like it's bouncing back just yet. It's lower lows, lower highs, and we're still not really showing any sign of real strength just yet. So I do think there's more to come when we move along like this. We can see, you know, um, how quick we shot up there, how quick we came through this level. So yep, I do think it's very probable to go down to those 170s. But of course, we shall have to wait and see. Um, we will see what the New York Open does today and take it trade by trade. This video is not necessarily determining the outcome of this has to happen because of you got this level there and you have these confluences, but this is just all about making a plan. So that's really imperative because, if Bitcoin, for example, starts dropping 5%, and you don't have a plan for what you're going to do with your alts, for example, this gets everyone running around like headless chickens, for example, especially if you're day trading these coins. So yeah, it's good to have a plan and good to know where to reload your longs and where to reload your shorts. So yeah, that's the purpose of the video. I hope you enjoyed listening and watching. I hope you've learned something. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you for your support. Thank you for your time and have a safe trading day.